What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug, and welcome back to WWE 2K15 in 2021 on a PS5. And last time, I defeated William Regal in his retirement match. I am this close to being on SmackDown. The chances of Vicky having anything for me today are slim, but here we go anyway. Yep, she has nothing for your boy. It's fine. We got The Miz, we got Sheamus, and again, I'm aiming for that SmackDown debut, so of course, I'm going to get them tune-ups. And also, under new management, the big dog, the head of the table, is here. The Tribal Chief in my corner. Welcome to a fine Monday here on the program. It is Moveset Monday. It is a new day, a new week. Yes, it is, but the same month there. I learned that from Regal. The power of the punch is now in my arsenal, having learned that from my mentor, William Regal. So, let's get down to business here on a fine Monday and talk about the big news story that I was shocked by. That happened, I guess, last night at some point. And that is the fact that, granted, his release is Andrade. They gave it to him. And I'm like, wow, I did not expect that. I thought, oh, it'll be a Neville or a Brody Lee situation where they just, all right, you can sit at home for however long that you have on your deal. We'll add time on your injury, like either Cash Wheeler or Dash or whatever it was. And then eventually you'll get released. Now there is that usual 90-day non-compete, which means June 20th, Andrade will be free and truly tranquilo. But not just yet. But yes, I have to imagine some portion of Charlotte being involved here made that happen faster than it would have otherwise. Because, yeah. And there's something fishy going on there with her as well. Where she was originally on the Mania promotional materials and now she's not. And she's been kind of MIA. But, of course, Asuka was hurt there, so that makes sense if she's going to be fighting Asuka at Mania. But it's been kind of confusing, perhaps, in terms of what the Queen may or may not be doing at Mania, if anything. So perhaps she ducked on a Mania payday to get him out of his deal. I don't know. They are obviously a couple, so something happened there. But you know it is in WWE's best interest to keep Charlotte happy. Like, that is a long, long-term investment. Keep the Flairs happy. So, yeah. That is the big deal here. That is the big news. Where does he go after this? Who knows? But the sky is the limit for Andrade. So, here's hoping some good stuff happens with that boy. Now then, I have a new signature here. Or a new, over to the corner here. It has to be in the corner, yes. Calling for it. Just like the big dog, we hitting it. Spear, spear. What was that? What was that? Oh, he reversed it. It didn't look like it. It looked like he just kind of stood there and shrugged. Like, since when does The Miz reverse my spear? The in-ring acumen here, strategy of The Miz. I underestimated him, clearly, like everyone else did. In life. Underestimated The Miz, who is a two-time WWE champion. Do not underestimate The Miz. Now then, we did have a pay-per-view last night. It was indeed the first one on Peacock, and the last one on the network, as that is getting shut down here on April the 4th. And I will say, having myself watched it on Peacock, that they did a pretty good job. Like, I didn't notice any major glitches, or skipping, or issues. It was about a minute behind the actual feed on the proper network. So they were a little bit delayed. So if you were following it on, perhaps, Twitter, you were going to get spoiled there on match finishes because it was about a minute behind. So don't watch that in real time. But of course, for Mania, not going to be an issue because it's all going to be on Peacock. So there's not going to be a competing standard there that'll be perhaps in a better position to have that things show up earlier. So, you know, there was that. The roll-up! 1, 2, 3. And yes, the magical roll-up, attackslug, victorious against Mike the Miz. There it is, the roll-up. Sorry, Miz. That's all she wrote. And there we are. The Tribal Chief and the attackslug, victorious. That's right. He acknowledges me. 3.5 stars. Nice match out there. How close am I now to SmackDown? Oh my god, a sliver. And look at that. John Cena beats Randy Orton. A tale as old as time. One more tune-up. I'm going to main roster. Finally. One more. What do you got, Icky Vicky? Uh-huh. Yeah, an update. Uh-huh. Sami Zayn. Alright, sure. My final main event match against Sami Zayn. I'll take it. And I will skank my way to SmackDown. The Czech Republic. What? Huh? How? Alright, where's Big Roman? Like, he's here somewhere, but he doesn't want to get lit on fire, so he's standing back at an appropriate distance, so we'll skip this here. It's fine. But let me get into Sami Zayn dancing. Here's hoping. Anyhow, we had Fastlane. It was on Peacock. I would say ran pretty well for me. There were no commercials during the live broadcast outside of the usual WWE, inserted ones. So there were no Peacock ones put in there, thankfully. So I am glad to see that was not ruined by that. So it was a continuous broadcast. So if the only reason that you had the network, right, was to watch pay-per-views, you watch everything else on TV, but you only watch pay-per-views on the network, now it's going to cost you half that price at $5 a month because they're not going to put commercials during the live broadcast. So that, happy to see that, a whole lot. Good times. So let's get into Fastlane proper here. The kickoff had a Riddle versus Ali, and I'm like, man, kickoff match usually means titles get retained, and indeed, Riddle beat Ali for that U.S. title, retained that U.S. title, I should say. But after the match, Ali blaming Retribution, as he's been doing, and they finally said, you know what, screw you, man, we're out of here. So the implosion of Retribution, it looks like. And that was a flop of a group there. So how they handle those guys on TV and girl in the coming days, weeks, like, are they even on Mania? Are they in the Battle Royal? I don't know. But yes, no more Ali, and perhaps he'll fight them all one-on-one or something, but right now, they booted him out of the group. Double choke slam, and that was all she wrote there. So, Bianca and Sasha taking on Nia and Shayna for those tag team titles, and predictably there was involvement here from Reginald, which you might have assumed there would be, but he did not factor into the finish, right? Instead, it was a, oh, you're a rookie, get out of the ring, distraction type thing, and then a roll-up, pinfall, victory, and the post-match had Sasha slapping Bianca and calling her a rookie, and I don't think that's a heel turn, really, because, again, that's fine, it is what it is. Maybe it is, I don't know. We'll see on SmackDown this week, but I don't really see that being a total heel turn here for Sasha. She just turned face again, like not that long ago with the whole thing with Bayley. So don't really waste that, but also I wouldn't want to see Bianca heel this soon. I mean, they could, but it seems like it's just kind of going to be a face versus face sort of tweener. I don't know. So there was that. We had Big E and Apollo, and indeed Big E did defend and retain his IC title. The finish was not great. That match, number one, needed more time. Like, I feel like it was getting going, and then, oh, here's the finish. And it was a 2 count, reversed into a 2 count, and then a 3 count, and you know a finish is botched when they don't actually have a freaking replay for it. Because they love their replays. So not doing a replay is usually like, what happened? What went wrong here? There should have been a replay. And there was not. He blocked it. He blocked it. There was not a replay here. So, after the match, Apollo beating the bejesus out of Big E, which to me says Mania rematch, even though Apollo has lost every single time they've fought in a title match scenario. So, why would he get another shot? Well, you know. What is this spear reversal? Am I not hitting a button here? I'm hitting triangle. He's running toward him and not spearing him. Is the spear in this game broken as a corner finisher? Is that the idea? I don't know what's happening here at all. Sami Zayn, the roll-up. And a 2 count. So, yeah, the finish was not great there in that match. That match needed more time, and I would imagine Mania, it gets more time. Here's hoping. Here's hoping. So, we did have one title change hands on this program. And it was predictably the 24/7 title, which changed hands during a commercial. And you can now say that Eric Bugenhagen, from formerly in NXT, I guess made his main roster debut here. And what is happening? And pinned 24/7 champion R-Truth during a commercial for Old Spice. He was the Panther. And then R-Truth won it back, and that was that commercial for Old Spice. But hey, good to see Bugenhagen on TV in some capacity. Sami Zayn getting that Slug Exploder, and Roman very happy to see it there in the background. So, good times. But Sami, bye-bye. And there is my ticket to SmackDown. Me and the big dog doing that SmackDown thing. We coming for you, SmackDown. 4.5 stars, instant classic. Welcome to SmackDown. John Cena is the World Heavyweight Champion. Randy, Daniel, and CM Punk are in the building. This is the last step before Raw. This is the B show, Raw is the A show at this point in history. So, here we go. If you become popular enough, I might make you #1 contender. Okay. Thanks, Vicky. Are you gonna give me a push now? With my current popularity? Vicky? A feud of some kind? Something? Somewhere? Somebody? John Cena defended at SummerSlam. That's the other belt. You just showed him with a picture of the big gold, and now that's the... What? I'm confused. Okay. Whatever. Let's see what our first match on SmackDown is going to be. And Vicky has nothing for us. Train hard. Like, we're still getting tune-ups here on SmackDown. Let's go fight Big Red. Something different. I don't want Fandango again. Like, seriously. The game's like, you're going to get unique rivalries. Or not. You know, these things happen. Alright, so... Here we go. Alright, so... Braun Strowman was booked against Shane McMahon, but Shane hurt his knee training before the show itself, and therefore Elias replaced, as Elias wanted a spot on the Mania card to perform, and there was a deal made here with Shane, and so we had Braun versus Elias. Predictably, Braun wins. Shane just bailed on the whole thing, was out of there, just gone. And so yes, the word, I think, does point to being Braun versus Shane at Mania, and personally, I'd imagine it would be Braun tossing Shane off that pirate ship at Mania for your Mania moment. But hey, that's just my own wish list there. So, might happen, might not. But if it does, I said it first. I guess, maybe. Anyhow, so, one of the matches of the night here was indeed Seth Rollins versus Nakamura, as a motivated Nakamura is one of the best in the world. It's just often he is not that motivated to do that style of work at his current age, having done it for a long time. Can't blame the man at this point, right? But Rollins obviously always at the top of his game here. And so yes, those two put on a fun match, but of course, Seth freaking Rollins with the victory at the end of the night. Now, we had Drew versus Sheamus in that no-holds-barred match. And how do you tell me that anything goes? Anything goes. And when Drew has his entrance and has a giant sword, he leaves it back there on the entrance ramp, and then it just vanishes. Also, it kind of looks like he broke that sword during that entrance. It kind of bounced in a weird way, so hopefully not totally broken there. But yeah, don't tell me anything goes and then not have a guy with a sword use a sword. That's just kind of lame. Lame. Obviously you wouldn't, but still. If you're not going to use it, then don't bring it to the ring during your entrance. is what I'm saying to you. So, besides that, they finally had somebody break through the Thunderdome fans on the LED screens that had to explode there. That was awesome. Some great spots in there. And the old joke of Vince has not seen any movies since the 90s holds true here in that he loves referencing Braveheart. They've done it so many times in this company because Vince hasn't seen anything past, like, 98 in terms of movies. So, you know, there's that. But, obviously, heading towards Mania, Drew wins that match. Beats Sheamus, but a knockdown, drag out for sure. And just, you know, big dudes being big dudes. So, Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss. I told you, it wasn't going to be a regular match. It was going to be sports, entertainment, spectacle, and that it certainly was. Now, is the spear broken? We're doing it again. Spear, 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 spear. No, it's busted. It's busted. All right, fixing that for tomorrow because they broke the spear here. Uncool. Uncool. Don't break the move. Why can't I hit the spear? One, a rope break. Lame. Lame, 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 lame. So there was fire involved here because clearly Alexa Bliss is a fire mage. And there was falling things from the ceiling from your, you know, lighting rigs. And there was stuff here to draw out what most folks had assumed would happen, the eventual return of The Fiend, who is now extra crispy. So, unlike my guess, which was, alright, he's going to have a new outfit because Fiend magic. No, he was just burned. He was just a Toxic Avenger Swamp Thing kind of a deal here. Which is fine. The mask being melted I did like. But the rest of the outfit, not really feeling it. Kind of just, was not the best. When we, at some point, I would imagine, see Firefly Funhouse Bray, and he is not covered in burns, some folks might say, hey, that's not right. I remind you, who was covered in burns beforehand back in the 90s? Kane. And then he unmasked and took his shirt off, and there were no burns. And they were like, oh, they were psychological burns. They'll do something there. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Now, the end of the match here with Alexa Bliss in a very suggestive pinfall on Randy Orton. Like, at the start, you're like, alright, she pinned him. They counted. Fine. But then she sat there for a very long time, and predictably, Randy Orton's wife was not happy on social media afterwards. So yeah, that was a bit much, with a bit of a lewd pinfall there with Alexa on Randy. So of course, you would imagine it's going to be Burnt Fiend versus Randy Orton in some way at Mania. 5-star match. 5-star Rowan. Main event Redbeard. Good God. Nice match. But nobody cares. There's no angle here. There's nothing. John Cena beats Big E at Night of the Champions. And I gained no social media followers for that, so that was kind of a waste of my time. But one more thing here, and that was the main event of the evening was Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, for that title, for that Universal title, and Edge was the guest enforcer. And predictably, all kinds of shenanigans, ref bump happened here, and then Edge was the ref for a little bit, and then Edge got pissed and used the chair. But importantly here, even though it was not acknowledged on the, end result, Roman Reigns did tap out. A little baby tap there, but he did tap out. But of course, referee didn't see it, Edge didn't see it, but it happened. That's the first time he's tapped out in his career, which is wild that it happened here. But, of course, now, folks are saying, well, Roman won the match, but Edge hit them both with a chair. Does this mean triple threat at WrestleMania? And that just might happen, because either you have a triple threat there at Mania, or you have Edge fight Bryan on night 1, and then have the winner of that fight Roman on night 2. Either way, you could go with that. But having Edge work that much is going to be a risk for injury, and that you don't want for a big money match for Mania. So it just might be a triple threat at Mania. I guess we'll find out as we head towards that show in the next couple of weeks. I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching. More videos right here. See you next time. And I'm out.